Hello, hi, my name is Valerie Anderson and I am a yoga teacher and a movement coach. Today we're going to talk about hand placement on the mat. I'm not on a mat, I'm at a wall, and that's so that I can take a little bit of pressure off that gravity puts on us when we're down in downward dog or when we're in tabletop and we're trying to figure out where do I like my hands, where do I don't like my hands. It's nice to just come to a wall because then we don't have that gravity pulling us downward and we can notice a little bit more finely what our palms are doing, what our shoulders are doing, all that bit, okay? So if you can imagine that I'm in tabletop on the floor, this is my floor, but it's actually the wall. I'm gonna let my arms stretch out, and the first thing I notice is that I went to the automatic cue of palms right underneath my shoulders and my fingertips facing directly towards the top of my mat, or towards the ceiling in this case, right? So this is the alignment that you get a lot of cues in yoga classes. When I teach my yoga classes, I don't usually cue those direct ways. I usually tell people to discover where their palms need to go, and I give them the chance to kind of fiddle around. So that's what we're gonna do today. So one thing I can say for starters is that your fingers do not need to point straight towards the top of your mat, or in this case, the ceiling. They can point a little bit out towards the corners of your mat. They can point a lot of it out towards the corners of your mat, okay? Another thing is that your palms don't need to be directly underneath your elbows. That's a very extreme angle for your wrists, and it might not be comfortable. It might cause you to lock out your elbows, and it's not always a great way to start. So after you figure out where you want your fingers pointed, then you can walk your palms a little bit towards the ceiling, or if this was a mat, the top of my mat, right? And now you'll notice the angle decreased in my wrist, and my palms are no longer directly underneath my shoulders. That's where they were directly underneath my shoulders. Now they're a little bit further away. This is also going to create some ease and space in my shoulders too. So then I go to the spacing between my palms. Instead of being directly right underneath my shoulders, they can go wider than my shoulders. So I'm going to let them go a little bit wider. This is actually about where I like my palms when I'm doing tabletop, when I'm doing down dog, when I'm on my hands in general. I don't like this 90-degree angle on my wrist. It doesn't feel fantastic, so I'm not gonna adhere to it. I don't like the fingers pointing straight up. I like them a little bit outward. That feels better for my wrists and for my elbow. And then wider than my shoulders feels better for my shoulders. So I'm honoring my body, how it was designed, and not some dogmatic way of placing my body in alignment, okay? So as you're fiddling around with this, if you move your fingers and then you go wider and you go, oh, well, my fingers don't need to be pointed exactly there. They might need to be pointed a little bit more towards the top of my mat, or I'm okay with my palms being underneath my shoulders now that they're wider. Or I like them right underneath my shoulders, but I want them to be really pointed out fingertips. Or I am okay with them underneath my shoulders, but wider, instead of being a little bit in front of my shoulders and wider. So you're gonna have to play around, and you're gonna have to reset your muscle memory. Once you find that optimal space at the wall, try to translate that to the floor, to your mat. That's gonna add weight and pressure into your palms, and then you can say, yeah, this works for me, or no, I need a little bit more fine tuning. So when you're in a general movement class, a general yoga class, and they start saying, go to hands and knees, we're gonna do our first down dogs, blah, 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 feel free to move your body parts, okay? And find that optimal alignment for you, for your tissues, and don't let any instructor tell you otherwise, okay? You know what feels good for your body, for your shoulders, for your wrists, and moving them on the mat, if that's what does it for you, hey, then you're just listening and honoring your bones and your tissue. All right, I hope this was helpful for taking classes with me, taking classes with other teachers, and just learning a little bit more about your body and your tissues. Thanks for watching.